Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And today I'm doing a 2024 recap. I am going to share with you my top 15 sales of the entire year 2024. So if you want to see what my highest sales were, definitely stick around. So if you've been watching my channel for some time, these are not new sales. Probably have reported out on these, most of these, if not all of these, in my monthly sales recaps. I did for 2024 the top 15 highest sales every single month. So this is the top 15 highest sales of the year. If you've been following those videos, you've probably seen these already, but I thought it would be fun to do a compilation of just the highest of the entire year. So definitely stick around if you want to see this. Spoiler alert, every single sale on this list is $100 or more. So these are definitely the best sales of the year. If you like content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I do a top 15 sales video every single month. I will continue that through 2025. I love sharing with you what's working for me, what I'm doing with my reseller life, in hopes that it helps you with your own reseller business, brands to look out for, or just sources and just tips and tricks and all of that good stuff. So I love sharing that with you. Hit that like button if you could. That definitely helps out my channel. And let me know in the comments, what was your best sale of 2025? I would love to know. Let's share the wealth with each other. Start a little resource in the comments of what brand it was and how much it sold for, what platform you sold it on. I would love to know. Make the comment section a resource for other resellers. So I'll share with you the top 15 from lowest to highest. Let's get right into it. So number 15 was the stretch crepe knit sleeve blazer. The brand was Pearl by Lila Rose. I'd never heard of this brand. This was a new with tag blazer from that Helpsy professional wear box I ordered. So this was from a mystery box. And this sold within a month, about 3 weeks it took on Poshmark. I listed it, I think, a little higher, but it sold by offer for $100. Somebody offered me $100, which I accepted. So that was a very exciting sale on an otherwise not so hot box, which I haven't even done the 90-day update on that one yet. That's coming this month, but that was definitely an exciting sale compared to what else was in that box. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. Then there was these lamb leather ankle pants. These were the brand Rag & Bone. I got these from a Helpsy mystery box back in April. These actually sold within 2 weeks. They were real, actual like lamb leather pants. And these sold on eBay for $100 with the buyer paying shipping. So again, very exciting sale. My cost per piece, oh, I forgot to tell you about the blazer, was $8.69 per piece. And the Rag & Bone pants were $14.75 per piece on those mystery boxes. Then there were those Thorogood work boots, those dirty, I thought they were covered in cement. It ended up just being dirt from that customer returns shoe boxes. That one I just recently did the 90-day update on, where I only was able to list 5 of the 10 pair of shoes. And the ones I did list, I was kind of like grabbing at straws. These required some cleaning. They were literally like covered in mud, but they did sell on eBay within 3 weeks of listing for $101.99. Plus they were heavy. So the buyer ended up paying quite a hefty shipping price on those. And those saved that entire box from being a complete disaster, a dumpster fire. So that was a very exciting sale. But Thorogood, definitely a brand to look out for if you're thrifting, if you find it. Even if they're dirty, even if they are not in the best condition, definitely check for that brand. If you find it, it might be worth picking up. Because, you know, that was a great sale. And my cost per piece, by the way, $17.11 into $101.99 on that one. Then also I had a pair of Stevie leather ankle boots from J. Crew. These were new without box from the Madewell J. Crew shoes box I ordered from Helpsy Source. These took a few months to sell. They sat here for a little over 3 months, but they eventually sold on eBay for $101.99 plus the buyer paid shipping. In all fairness, though, these are definitely fall boots. I listed them in May, and they took until the end of August to sell. Not surprising. Again, seasonality played a factor in this one, but I paid $11.25 per pair on that box, and they sold for $101.99. So definitely a high reward there. J. Crew boots, if you can find them in good condition, the actual like leather boots are sometimes worth investing in because they retail for pretty high. And even though they're J. Crew, they still resell for pretty high as well. Then there were the shabby platform sneakers from the P448 box. This box was from back in the beginning of the year from Boutique by the Box. I had $34 into each pair from this box, and these sold within 10 days for $101.99. Well, that's like a magic number here on these. $101.99 on eBay. And that box itself otherwise didn't do so hot, if I recall, but this particular pair of shoes did sell for pretty high. So P448, I wouldn't recommend paying $34 per pair, but if you can find this brand, depending on the style, you could do rather well with it. Then there was this deconstructed green checkered blazer from Rag & Bone. This also was from a Helpsy box. This one was a size 16, and this box was actually from 2023. So this blazer took 6 months to sell, but when it did sell, it sold for that magic $101.99 on eBay. This blazer retailed for $400 or $500, if I remember correctly. It was a size 16, so a good size, and it was wool, so a good fabric, nice quality blazer. I knew that this was going to be kind of a right buyer situation. Blazers aren't in super high demand, but I decided ultimately to like leave this one kind of priced up a little bit and let it sit rather than just giving it away. And my patience did pay off. I had $5.65 into the box that this blazer came in, and it ended up being a $101.99 sale plus the buyer paid the shipping. There were the Bondi sneakers from Hoka. There is no surprise these sold so fast. This was a very predictable sale. This was from a Helpsy ready-to-list footwear box. I had $16.37 per pair into this box. These sold within 4 days on eBay for $110. I listed them a little higher, but somebody sent me an offer on these. They were new with box, by the way. This was interesting because this was the first and actually the only time I had ever had a pair of shoes go through the eBay authentication process, or anything go through the authentication process. So that was actually not only a really good sale, but a really good experience for me overall to just like have gone through that process and just kind of see how it worked. So I'm thankful for that sale kind of on multiple levels. Then there was the gray linen cardigan sweater from Eileen Fisher. This was an Eileen Fisher new with tag, new without tag box from Boutique by the Box. And this sweater took about 2 months to sell, but it sold on eBay for $119.99, and that was my full asking price. This was a 100% linen new with tag sweater from Eileen Fisher, which is a great sustainable brand, especially their linen or their organic cotton fabrics do really well for me. And this one, the buyer was actually in Alaska, and she not only paid full price for this sweater, but she emailed me afterwards and she asked me if I had any more because she had this sweater and she loved it to the point that it was like tattered and wanted to replace her favorite sweater and was willing to pay even, she was willing to pay the same price for more of them if she could find it again. So, that was a really exciting sale, and I'm glad that, it went to somebody that actually really, really wanted, to replace something that they loved so much. So I love hearing stories of what people actually do with the stuff that they buy. I do wish I had more than one to sell her because that was a great profit. $13.09 I had into that box into a $119.99 sale. That was very good. I had this Nori blazer from Sandro was the brand. This also was in that professional wear blazers box from Helpsy Source. And this one took about 6 weeks to sell, but it was a $120 Poshmark sale. This blazer was actually a sample piece. Like it had a sample tag with like the actual like information was handwritten on it. So I wasn't quite sure how this would do. But when I looked up comps on this particular blazer was selling for quite high. So that was a really exciting sale. And again, another really decent sale out of an otherwise kind of blah mystery box. I love it when that happens, when there's like one or two items in the box that pay for the whole piece. And so what happens with the rest of it is kind of neither here nor there because you made your money back and then some on just a couple of pieces. Then there were the Cloud 5 Niagara Blue running shoes from On Cloud, also from a ready-to-list footwear box from Helpsy. This was back in the summer when Helpsy first listed this ready-to-list footwear box, and all the shoes were like $18 a piece, and nobody wanted to buy it because they're like, who's paying $18 per pair of shoes? I paid $16.62 probably with my discount code on these. But when I got this box, I was like, oh my gosh, every single pair of shoes in here really is worth $18 a piece. It was all new with box, new with tag, great brands like Hoka, On Cloud, whatever. I ordered this box several times after that. But anyway, these I had $16.62 into. They sold on Poshmark for $120. They were only listed a week. So definitely if you can find On Cloud's new, they're worth paying up for a little bit. I don't know how many new pair of On Clouds you're going to find, you know, if you're thrifting or whatever. But even if you find like On Clouds that are pre-loved, if they're still in decent condition, the resale value of On Clouds is quite good compared to their retail value. So just something to keep in mind. It's a good brand to look out for. Then there was the round neck boxy sweater in jam. So this was like a fuchsia purple, also from that Eileen Fisher box from Boutique by the Box. So I paid $13.09 for this sweater, or $13.09 per piece. In all fairness, I listed this sweater in April and it didn't sell until the end of July. I am surprised it sold in July, but it was definitely a thick wool sweater. So it definitely had a seasonality component to the length of time that sat here, but it was a full price eBay sale of $129.99. So again, sometimes it's worth sitting on if it's out of season, but it's still a valuable piece. You know, that's a great profit and definitely worth sitting on for a few months to wait for the seasonality to roll around again so you can make a really good profit. All right, we have 4 left. Number 4, the City Boots in Desert Tan. These are from an Everlane footwear box. Y'all remember the Everlane footwear boxes from Helpsy Source? I actually listed these in December of 23. They sold in January of 24. So I think this is the oldest sale on the list. I have in my notes these sold on January 2nd. So this sale is about a year old now. But that box was $24.65 per pair. And these sold for $140 on Poshmark. They were only listed 3 weeks, so it was a really quick sale. I haven't bought Everlane shoe boxes in a while from Helpsy Source. But when they were good, they were really, really good. So that was an exciting sale back then. And definitely Everlane shoes, kind of like the J. Crew shoes. Not all of them are going to resell for much at all, but if you can find the actual like genuine leather boots, especially if they're in good condition, not saying you're going to get $140 for them because those were actually like brand new, but still maybe worth looking at. I may consider ordering more Everlane shoes if they come in again. I know the last ones that I ordered from Helpsy Source, they were very expensive. They were pricey. I paid $24.65 for that particular box. They had shoes listed for even higher than that in the recent months. They're sold out now. But the last time I ordered them, like, I paid 24 or whatever, probably maybe a little more than that, which is fine. If they're going to sell for 140, that's great. But what I got in that box was not worth 24 or 20 something, whatever it was per pair. So I decided to pause on ordering the Everlane footwear. You know, like I said, when they were good, they were really good. They didn't continue to be that good, but I mean, maybe now that we've gone through fall and half of winter, and Everlane's probably starting to get some customer returns on boots and fall and winter type shoes, I may consider ordering this again based on the timing of it, if Helpsy were to list them again, but I don't know if they will. Anyway, moving on, the next one up is the light purple wool jacket. This also was a 2023, well, okay, technically I listed this in January of 24. I purchased the box in December of 23, listed in January of 24, and this sold in March of 24. This was Ralph Lauren from the Boutique by the Box Stitch Fix Premium Box. And this one sold for $145 on Poshmark. It was a super nice blazer. It was a size 22, so it was a plus size. Retailed for $300, if I remember correctly, $300, $400. And it was a really nice blazer. It took a couple months, but it did eventually sell for a really fair price. So that one was exciting. This one, I love this sale. This was from another ready-to-list footwear. Again, everybody poo-pooed Helpsy for charging $18 a pair. I paid $17.23 per pair on this box. This was the third round of ready-to-list footwear that I ordered. These were the brand Schutz. I had never heard of this brand before. SCHUTZ. It's German, I think. I don't remember. These were new without box. These retailed for hundreds of dollars as well. And these sold within 2 weeks on Poshmark for $169. Again, I had $17.23 into these. So that was an amazing sale. Definitely a brand to look out for. Schutz. These were like over-the-knee boots, so they were a really substantial piece, but I'm sure other shoes by this brand, they retail for a lot. It looks like a brand that I would want to sell again, just based on the performance of this. Even if I'm not getting $169, I mean, again, something it might be worth looking out for, even if you're still only selling in the $50, $60 range, depending on the price and condition. And the highest sale of 2024, this is funny because it took me forever to list these. Story time, and I probably told the story in the original video when I first sold these. This was a Goodwill find. I found authentic Gucci shoes at Goodwill. They were behind the case. They were $49.99. I had no way of authenticating them right there in the store. I took a gamble and purchased them for $50 at Goodwill. They were a size 7.5 men's, which is not the best size. And they sat here. So I bought them in January. Y'all know, if you've been watching my channel, I love thrifting in January. You get the best stuff in January. So I purchased these in January of 2024. I didn't list them until June of 2024. They sat here for a full 6 months before I got up the guts to list them, because I didn't truly know if they were authentic, and that worried me, and I don't want to be caught up in selling counterfeit items. And I was really sure they were authentic just by like what I saw online and comparing them to other authentic pair versus fakes that I saw that were out there. But still, I was nervous. I was nervous to sell these, but I eventually sucked it up and listed them in June. They sold in July, and they sold on Vestiaire, which I think these might have gone through some sort of authentication on Vestiaire. I was hoping they would either sell on eBay or Vestiaire so that they could go through the authentication process and I didn't have to worry about the buyer accusing me of selling a counterfeit. Poshmark has authentication, but it's like over $500, and I knew I wasn't going to get quite that much for these. And actually, this was a very frustrating Vestair sale because Vestair, I don't even think I have anything listed on there right now, but it's kind of like Depop. They will allow buyers to make offers that are not binding. So I probably accepted 20 different offers on these shoes, and nobody actually like followed through with the transaction and paid. And finally, this person did. They paid $186.96 for these shoes. I paid $49.99. So again, a great profit, even though they took me forever to list and then even longer to sell. It was a fun journey with those shoes, I will say. And just finding authentic Gucci at a thrift store is just fun in general. So that was the top sale. I will say that was also probably the most exciting sale and probably also the one that has the best story. So that's everything. That's number one, highest selling item. I wish you, if you are still here, I wish for you to find Gucci at the thrift store. Hopefully everybody gets to at least once in their lives. Let me know down below what your highest sale of 2024 was. I would definitely love to know. Make sure you subscribe if you like these types of videos. I will put out a top what sold every month for 2025. At least that is my goal. And I love sharing what works for you in my reseller life. I love sharing brands that sell for me and just tips and tricks and what's working for me, sometimes what's not working for me. Hit that like button if you could on the way out. That definitely helps out my channel. Happy 2025. I wish you much success for this year. And that is it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.